Do you know what cash flows affect your business? Do you know how they are represented on the cash flow statement? Do you know how your business's cash flows tie up with your income statement and balance sheet? This video is for you. In this video, we will look at cash flows and the cash flow statement. We start by looking at the lessons learned so far, including profitability, solvency, liquidity, the cash conversion cycle, and the funding cycle. We then consider the different types of cash flows based on the different types of activities that they relate to. And we conclude by tying these cash flows to the cash flow statement, the balance sheet, and the income statement. With that, let's dive into the presentation. We start by defining the different types of business activities previously described in video number 26 about the funding cycle. They were financing activities, investing activities, and operating activities. In relation to financing activities, when we start our business, we will require financing. Over time, as our business grows, we may require additional financing, and in exchange, our investors will require a return, which will be a cost to the business. Financing can come in the form of equity or debt. Equity investors will expect dividends over time. Debt investors will expect interest over time. In relation to investing activities, once financing is received, our business will invest money into various assets with the expectation of receiving a return on those assets. Our business can invest in assets that will be used in the ordinary course of operations. Alternatively, our business can invest in financial instruments like stocks, bonds, or alternative assets. In relation to operating activities, once our business has received financing and invested in the required assets, operations can commence. Manufacturing and procurement can begin. Services can be outsourced, and the recruitment of required skills can begin. Our organization can provide goods and services to its customers, and we can start earning revenues. Operations invests cash into its working capital, and revenue generation commences. Next, we consider how these various activities and their related cash flows relate to our balance sheet and income statement. First, we have cash flows from financing activities. These typically describe the cash flows related to the equity and non-current liabilities sections of our balance sheet. Next, we have the cash flows from investing activities. These typically describe the cash flows related to the non-current assets section of our balance sheet. And finally, we have the cash flows from operating activities. These typically describe the cash flows related to the current assets and current liabilities sections of our balance sheet and the cash flows related to our income statement, which after all reports the profitability of our operating activities. Now that we have an understanding of our different types of cash flows, we can consider how a cash flow statement looks. And it is really simple. It has three main sections. One for cash flows from operating activities, one for cash flows from investing activities, and one for cash flows from financing activities. The net total of each of these sections is then added to the cash balance at the beginning of the period, giving us the total cash at the end of the period. And so, we can tie the total cash at the end of the period to the total cash reflected on our balance sheet. In this video, we learned about the different types of cash flows in our organization and how they interact with the balance sheet and the income statement. We then learned about a cash flow statement and how that ties to the balance sheet. In videos number 24 to number 27, we have learned about the profitability, the solvency, the liquidity, and the cash flows of our organization. We also learned about how they are reported and reflected on our three main types of financial statements, namely the cash flow statement, the balance sheet, and the income statement. In this way, you should be well equipped to understand the basic fundamentals about the financial reporting of your business. This will lay a foundation for all future analysis that you may need to perform or interpret. Congratulations! Having this knowledge is a huge milestone for any business owner. If you enjoyed this content, please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and click on the notification bell. It helps us grow the channel and bring more content to small and medium business owners and managers. Also, be sure to check the description below for any related product affiliate links. And finally, please comment on the video or click on our community tab to further interactions and updates.